now $1,600 for any advance at $1,600.
On Tuesday, February 19th, Swann Galleries is holding our African American Fine Art auction. This is the third sale of our new African American Fine Art department. This sale really gives us the whole spectrum of the African American experience in fine art, ranging from Edward Bannister in the 19th century to contemporary artists working today like Faith Ringgold. So in addition to the familiar modern masters such as Jacob Lawrence and Romare Bearden, we have exceptional museum quality works in this auction of artists such as Hale Woodruff, Aaron Douglas, and Elizabeth Catlett. We've really seen great increase in the quality of material offered to us here at Swann Galleries, and this is only the third auction of a brand new department, and now we are seeing exceptional works, museum quality works coming to us from some fantastic private collections. It's really been a thrill and an honor to work with the collectors and to catalog and bring to the public's attention some of these great works. Some of the earliest works we have are very scarce. They're from the 19th century. Any works from this period are exceptionally rare, and in this auction we have over a dozen works. The earliest work in this sale is a still life painting by Charles Ethan Porter, Still Life of Apples. And then we have several exceptional landscapes by Bannister. And a beautiful small study of a Parisian park by Henry Ossawa Tanner. Moving forward, as this catalog is organized historically, we have an incredibly wonderful, exciting discovery that represents the Harlem Renaissance. And this is Emperor Jones by Aaron Douglas, Lot 8. A gouache on board from 1926, signed and titled by the artist. Aaron Douglas, in the 1920s, was commissioned to illustrate the Eugene O'Neill play Emperor Jones, which was made famous by Paul Robeson in the starring role. And this is a beautiful drawing, a gouache that was a study for a series of woodcuts that Aaron Douglas did. He did a group of woodcuts that illustrated Emperor Jones, and they were later published in a theater journal from the period. This gouache is only one of two known studies for this important series. And this work comes to us from, of all places, England, where it was found in the estate of two important theater art supporters. The only other known work from this series that is unique, a study also in gouache, is found in the Amistad Research Center in New Orleans. Emperor Jones is one of his quintessential works in this style that really represents the Art Deco. Aaron Douglas was one of the first African American artists who really looked back to the works of Africa, the sculpture and the tribal arts that Alain Locke, a philosopher of the time, a writer and a friend of Aaron Douglas, really issued a call to African American artists in the Harlem Renaissance to look back to their roots in Africa. And this work incorporates African imagery and a beautiful sense of design with a stylized Art Deco sense. It's beautiful, it's graphic, and it's exceptionally modern, and you can't but help see the influence Aaron Douglas has had on other artists, such as Kara Walker today. It's very unusual to have 4 works of Aaron Douglas in one auction. Previously, in our last sale in February, we had 1 painting, and that was only the second work of Aaron Douglas to come to auction. In this sale, we have 3 other paintings by Aaron Douglas, 2 works from the 1930s. One painting is a beautiful figurative study of a young man, and the other is a very special painting, one of the few known works from his travels to Haiti in 1938. And finally, Lot 38 is Building More Stately Mansions, oil on canvas board, 1944. This painting is one of Aaron Douglas's best-known images, and we have found in a private collection purchased from the artist by a colleague at Fisk University this small easel-sized version. This is not just merely a copy, it's a small variation, a study where the artist was preparing to go to a larger scale, and one notices small changes and differences in this work. The larger version of this painting, normally at Fisk University, is now on tour in a major national retrospective. Building More Stately Mansions is really a culmination of the artist's modern vision. It has the stylization of his early work that we saw in Emperor Jones, but now it's a view of modernity and a view of the future, a vision for African Americans. African American artists often look to Paris, to the examples set by the modern painters there. They were also inspired by one of the few artists who was able to have great success there, Henry Ossawa Tanner. Beginning in the 1930s and 40s, a few lucky African American artists were either able to gain through scholarships or winning prize money the chance, the passage to go to Paris. And we see in this sale some great early examples of works done in France by important African American painters. We have artists such as William Henry Johnson, who studied in Paris and then moved throughout Northern Europe, in Denmark and Norway. We have two beautiful works by him, a very early woodcut, a self-portrait, signed and titled. We have a very modern painting by him, an exceptional oil, a beautiful still life. William Henry Johnson was an artist who lived in Paris, but also moved to the south of France, where artists such as Cézanne and Soutine had worked in the 30s. They were attracted to the light there, the inexpensive accommodations, and the freedoms there. And African American artists followed in their footsteps. William Henry Johnson was one. Also, later, Hale Woodruff and Palmer Hayden came to Paris and traveled throughout France. Some of the earliest works of Palmer Hayden in this sale date from the 1920s. Exceptional paintings from travels he made to the north, to the coast, where he did a sea landscape, a beautiful painting of the Bay of Biscay and schooners, or to the racetrack outside Paris. We have not only early works from Palmer Hayden and William Henry Johnson, we have a very scarce painting by Hale Woodruff. It is Lot 12, Woman by the Sea, an oil on canvas from 1930. And this is a wonderful painting by Hale Woodruff, such an early work. His works from this period are extremely scarce. We've only found 4 from this period in other collections. And this is a wonderful example of him really incorporating the lessons he's learned from European modernism, from studying Cézanne and Picasso, and also from looking at African sculpture. And it stands in contrast to the later works that he did, the landscapes from Atlanta, or the abstract expressionist works, such as the Celestial Gate series he did after World War II in the 1950s and 60s.